found a suitor for James Bradberry? What is up, YouTube? It's your boy J Downs. We are back at it with another New York Giants video, back at it with another Giants banger. And if you are not subscribed, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the channel. Now let's hop right into this one. So we're thinking we are out of free agency. No more of the big deals, no more of the big trades. So we thought, then we get a report that Tyreek Hill and the Kansas City Chiefs have stopped talks on a long-term extension, and next thing you know, Tyreek Hill is in Miami. He's in Miami. The New York Jets had a chance to get him. He chooses Miami. He gets 4 years, $120 million right off the gate. So that left the Kansas City Chiefs with what? A big hole at wide receiver. They also left them with 2 first-round draft picks and some freed up cap space. So when we say that, they need a cornerback also. They are missing that #1 cornerback, and you have Devontae Adams in Oakland, you have Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert in LA, and you also have Russell Wilson and those guys out in Denver. So they are going to need to find a way to suit up and find themselves a cornerback one before the 2022 season. They don't have time to go out there and use those draft picks and then draft a cornerback and say, yeah, you're going to be the #1 guy day one. They don't have the time for that. So the reports have came out saying that the Kansas City Chiefs are interested in 2 veteran cornerbacks, and that would be Stephon Gilmore, former Carolina Panthers /Patriots /Bill, and James Bradberry of the New York Giants. So when we hear that, we think to ourselves, yes, we want them. Yes, we want the Chiefs to make a deal for James Bradberry. Not only because we get to free up cap space, but we also need that cap space to sign our draft picks. We can't sign our draft picks right now. And if we were to trade James Bradberry, who has a $21.9 million cap hit towards the cap in 2022, we would free up $12.1 million, which would be enough to sign our draft picks. And this makes sense for both sides. The Kansas City Chiefs is a contending team. Trading Tyreek Hill does not change anything because you still have Patrick Mahomes, the gunslinger, at quarterback. You still have Travis Kelce at tight end. You still have that decent offensive line, all right? You still have Chris Jones. You still have Jaron Reed. You still have pieces that say we can still contend. We are not about to just call it quits because we trade Tyreek Hill. You have the first-round draft picks, yes, but you do not have time to go out there and draft a guy for cornerback and say, yeah, you're going to be the #1 guy day one. We need you to start up. You don't have that time for cornerback right now, so they need a guy who is a vet. They need a guy who has proven that he can do it. They need a guy who can actually be that #1 cornerback. And Stephon Gilmore is a great candidate for that. But one thing James Bradberry has on Stephon Gilmore is age. Stephon Gilmore is 31 years old now. James Bradberry isn't the youngest of them all, but he is 28 years old, and he is only 1 season off of a Pro Bowl appearance. So if we're taking that into account, you need a cornerback one. We are only going to ask for a 4th-round draft pick. That is the base, value for a trade with James Bradberry. And if that's the case, that makes sense for both sides. You freed up that cap space after trading Tyreek Hill, who's already on a deal. It was the extension that caused the trade. You open up that cap space. You can go out there, you can find that #1 cornerback via trade with James Bradberry. We've already seen some of the top name cornerbacks go out and get their money. And we were thinking to ourselves, is James Bradberry gonna have to get cut? It doesn't seem like that, because on draft night, a lot of people have been saying that the Chiefs and the Giants might be able to work out a deal where Bradberry ends up in Kansas City, the Giants end up with a 4th-round, mid-round draft pick, and some cap space to sign their guys. So I think this hypothetical and rumored kind of deal trade with the Chiefs and the Giants makes sense for both sides. No team is getting, this isn't a lopsided trade. No team is getting, fleeced at all. This isn't a Cowboys-Browns situation. It's not. Both teams are getting good benefits. Both teams are getting things they need. The Giants need cap space, and the Chiefs need a #1 corner. So I think it all makes sense. If you enjoyed it, though, leave a like, comment, hit the subscribe button. And until then, it's me, boy J Dimes. We are out. Go Giants. Peace.